Okay, hello and welcome back to our new topic. What is to do before you start planning a loft conversion? Mhm. I know what you're thinking. Don't talk to a builder first.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What else is to do? For example, when you say you're planning a conversion, what does it actually include beyond the permissions? So, where do you start when you want to have a loft conversion?
Where do you want to start? First thing is,
Basically, you sit down, imagine a couple on a dining table, and someone comes up. Honey, what do you think? Should we have a loft conversion?
yeah,
What is the next step?
what's the next step? Okay. No, seek professional advice. That's where we come in. But before, if you want to see that, how practical that space is going to be. Okay. First thing is if you get a ladder or something, go into your loft space and see if it's possible to do it or not. Yeah. So it all depends on the size of the property, the angle of the roof, and everything, like things like this. So if you imagine the apex of the property, which is the ridge right in the middle there. So if you put a tape from the top of the joist, which you have till the underside, if that space over there is more than, I would say, about 2.3, 2.4, then your loft is doable. If that space is coming 2.1 or 2 meters or something, you will not be able to convert that loft into a habitable space without doing quite a lot of work onto the first floor ceiling. The first thing is to go into the loft, check if that height is there or not.
Okay.
If it is, then you move ahead in the next step,
What is?
which is to seek a professional advice, get somebody on board, and to see that we check that the height is good enough, okay, and we would like to take the project forward and do the drawings and stuff for it.
Okay. What will you ask them? So, what they need to know before they come to you is that except of the height for the loft conversion.
Yeah. So when people look to have a loft conversion, what they don't sometimes understand is usually, okay, and I would say not all the time, because 50% of the time you actually end up losing one of your box room, okay, where the staircase is going to be going from there to your first floor. It doesn't happen in all the properties. Some properties are quite big enough and the staircase are located in a different orientation where you don't need to lose a room at all. Okay, and it can go on top of the existing staircase. Okay, but most of the time it does happen that you need to sacrifice one of the room. So people go like, oh, I will have 3 rooms, I'm going to have 4 rooms. So no, it doesn't work like that. Sometimes you will lose that.
Okay. I could imagine that you sometimes think if you get a request to do a loft conversion that you come obviously to the house and that take the measurements and everything to get the design and talk to them, that you have in mind, loft conversion might be not the best thing. I would do it differently to gain more space. So do you say that? And or do they people have to ask you as well for that? So when is the point where you're saying, okay, this is something is not,
Yeah.
it's not working out.
I always ask a question to the client saying, why do you need that space? Yeah. Is it for a 4th bedroom you desperately need in the house, or is it a work from home space, or what exactly you're going to be using that space? If the answer comes slightly differently, which is not using it for the bedroom, it's just using for a play area or doing something or a home office or something, okay, loft conversion, yes, you will achieve that quite comparatively slightly less cost than doing a proper extension, but sometimes it can cost you a bit more as well because you're looking to put a dormer, you're looking to do things slightly differently. So when I ask the question to the client and they give me an answer saying we're just looking for additional work from home space, okay, and I say, could we look to reconfigure the house on the ground floor and see if we can give you that space rather than spending that much money in? Yeah. So yes, we do ask this question to the client and see if we can work it differently.
Did it already happen that you came to a place where they asked a loft conversion and you did, I don't know, a rear extension or something else?
Yes, that has definitely happened. Okay, is because sometimes the loft conversion was not feasible, because as I said in the previously, people just go like, oh, space is there, can we just convert it? Yes, you can, but if it's not going to be ticking all the boxes for your regulations, okay, it will be difficult when you want to sell the house, that is that conversion is going to add value to it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if it does not comply with the regulation, it will not going to have any value to it. So you're spending 20,000-30,000 pound, which is, it's got no value to it. So I go like, have a small extension on the ground floor, or spend that money somewhere else in the property, where you want to come to resell the property, you'll actually get your money back.
Okay. Before you think about a loft conversion as well, what pops into my mind, and there are a lot of professional organizers out there. They help you to get more storage into your space that you already have. So obviously, this is a thinking a lot of people have as well. Like, do I need to extend, or is a professional organizer enough to get me more storage? Where do you think, like, because they're two different things, like how would you make the decision if there is a one or the other, or if it needs both? Like, where do you think?
Personal organizer, I think that is to declutter your house in terms of where you're
and
going to be
and and
storing and
create more
things.
storage as well, yeah, to
Yeah,
find, like, obviously decluttering, but find more or better furniture as well to get more storage space in it. But
yes,
obviously, if you say, usually if you do a conversion or an extension, the feeling is what you have is you need more space.
yes.
You can get more space one or the other way. So where do you think, like, comes this both together, or is it an we do either this or this decision?
um I think that is a short-term solution, because you're not adding volume into the property. What you're doing is decluttering it, okay, and finding more space visually for you to use and see. But what you're not doing is adding any extra space into that. So when you're looking for that extra space, because children are grown up, or you got somebody else moving in with you, uh, or circumstances changes in terms of the work from home life, or any disability or anything like that, that time you actually need the more volume, you need more space, rather than just decluttering and making use of that space a little bit better. Sometimes that helps if it's a short-term goal, which I was talking about. If somebody's just looking for a work from home space, okay, and they're working 5-6 hours a day or in a small job, then you don't need to spend that money in doing an extension. It can be a space can be created somewhere else in the house, where they can comfortably work and close the laptop and get on in the evening.
Yeah. Well, me personally, I think, like, both is together a huge plus,
Yeah,
because when you have a new space, you don't want to, have all the stuff put in because you have more space and now you
yeah,
have another storage room, basically. So if you do both, then it's the best thing, the best solution from both worlds, because you create another lifestyle in your home. This is what I would suggest.
absolutely.
Okay. Okay. What is in terms of safety? Are there any regulations when it comes to safety when you have a loft conversion you have to think about?
Absolutely. Yeah. So imagine if you're living in a two-story property, and when you walk down from the staircase and you are into open plan space, as long as you're in a two-story property, it's fine because you're walking into open plan space. But the regulation still says that all the windows on the first floor needs to be egress windows. What they means is an escape window. So if there's a fire in the kitchen, okay, on the ground floor, and the smoke is coming out of the room, so you should have escape out from the first floor windows. You should be able to jump out. Yeah. But if you're doing a loft conversion, and this is the scenario, okay, you need to provide a protected corridor all the way through the staircase and going out of the property. You cannot allow somebody to jump from the second floor.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Or the second method of is to put a mist system or a sprinkler system, which you see quite common into the commercial spaces. Those needs to be done or
I'm just
installed.
thinking about our house. I don't see, just because as I was thinking as well, I don't think we have a window that we can exit the first floor.
Do you have a loft?
No. So
That's
it's
yeah,
only
yeah.
needed when you have a loft.
It's only needed when you actually have a loft.
Okay, so when you don't have a loft, then it doesn't matter if it's there's fire in the ground floor. You have to
But
think like how you
do you
can.
have an open plan on the ground floor?
Yes.
Then you should. But again, these regulations, it depends when the house was built,
Okay.
when these windows were installed. But if you're doing something new today, if you say I want to have a loft conversion and those windows are not there, so the regulation will make sure that you install one of those windows in.
Interesting. Okay.